come to my attention again recently that 80s
It's come to Phil Reid's attention. This is going to be good.
seem to be more, this is a weird thing to say, they seem to be more honest and open and upfront about what you have to do in order to get the good stock that you actually want, the good watches.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. One of my fellow YouTubers has just brought out a video that is extremely misleading. I don't think he knows his ass from his elbow, but he's a nice kid. His name is Phil Reid. In the comment section of his video, I am referenced that even Brendan comes up with some proof of what the hell you're talking about. I watched his video and it is a load of waffle. He starts off by saying that Rolex ADs in the United Kingdom are now giving discounts on Rolexes. The title of his video is called Rolex ADs Messed Up Big Time, so now they have to discount watches. I can assure you there is no Rolex AD in the United Kingdom discounting Rolexes. There isn't a single one, because if there was, I would be there buying them. I would. I know my own AD doesn't do discounts because it's frowned upon. I'm not saying it won't happen in the future, but it's not happening right now. What I will tell you that it is happening, and I can back this up with information, but I'm not allowed to because it was all told to me in confidence, is Watches of Switzerland in a certain town are reaching out to good customers and offering them 25% across the board of Tudor watches. The Panda, the Reverse Panda, and a hell of a lot of Tudors on straps and NATO straps, but none of the new ones, none of the Metas, none of the FXDs. Then another source, a confirmed source, has told me that he last week was offered 20% off a Tudor FXD. When I queried it, turns out his source we can name, and they are called Ernest Jones, and they're no longer an AD. They have been bought out by Watches of Switzerland, and they are just clearing away their stock levels, but they're all doing it very discreetly. But this is a fact. Phil, in his video, says the complete opposite of this. He says that these ADs are heavily discounted now because they messed up. He said that they are discounting ladies' Rolexes. They're not. So do not go into a Rolex AD asking for discount, because they will laugh you out of the building. Let's try and listen to Phil's video together and see what else he comes up with that I know is horse poo.
So, Rolex ADs are now discounting watches, but it gets a bit worse than that. Let me explain. I sell watches, and so I need to buy watches, and when I buy watches, it's typically from people that buy Rolexes from the AD, and every now and again, people will tell me a story or two about the AD, and sometimes it will pique my interest, and recently, it's been very interesting. I have had word that some ADs are now discounting certain watches. Now, does this mean that they're going to start discounting the good sports models? Absolutely not. I wish that were the case, but no, they're still very hard to get, so that will not be happening anytime soon. But I know for sure that some of the smaller watches, so the 31mm ladies watch, for example, I know they are being discounted. But what's next? Will it be the two-tone men's watches? Will it be the full gold? Because, and for a bit of context, and this was way before my time, it was common practice for ADs to discount certain models. It happened, and way back in time, once upon a time, Daytonas would be discounted because
Daytonas were never discounted. Well, I'll re-say that. The Daytona he's on about were never discounted, and they were very hard to get. Very hard to get. Daytonas have always been hard to get. And I don't think Phil is that old. So maybe he's talking about, you know, before his granddad's time. I don't know. Doesn't really make sense, Phil.
At the time, they were very hard to sell, and nobody wanted them. Why have ADs started to do this now? Well, the ADs are a business. They are trying to make money, they're trying to hit revenue targets, and I think in some cases, that in a way, they're trying to do good with Rolex. You know, they have a license to sell Rolex watches, so they want to prove to Rolex that they're able to sell what they get allocated every week or every 2 weeks. So
allocated every week or every 2 weeks. Again, I don't know where he's getting his information from. My AD gets a monthly allocation. Maybe he's specifically talking about watches in Switzerland. Maybe that's his knowledge base. I do not know. But there ain't no AD desperate to sell Rolexes at discount. Not at the moment, Phil. So you're wrong, mate.
I think that's just a way of them doing business, and it's not unusual. It's just you rarely hear it because over the last 2-3 years it's been so easy for Rolex ADs to sell Rolex. When you hear the word discount, it doesn't sound quite right. And look, I don't blame ADs for doing this at all. There are certain watches that must be impossible for them to sell because they are extortionate in price, like a lady's Datejust or Day Date full gold with diamonds on. Imagine how many people are actually willing to buy that watch from the AD. It's a very, very small pool of people that can firstly afford it, and secondly that would want to wear it or have a wife or girlfriend that would also want that. And this is interesting as well. I've spoken to more people, and another method, not directly discounting watches, but another method that ADs are using is by offering a higher price on buyback watches. So let's say, for example, you've bought a watch from the AD a year, 2 or 3 years ago, and now you want to...
If an AD is part of the certified pre-owned scheme, they can't take any watches that are younger than 3 years old. So again, his information is wrong. And Rolex ADs are not desperate to buy your Rolex. They will just give you fair market value for your Rolex. Again, Phil, you're wrong.
Trade it in for something. They are now offering you a higher trade-in value for your watch in return for you then buying stock that they want to sell you. So it's not directly discounting, but you are getting a better deal on the reverse side of things. You do have to trade something in. And let's be honest, they're doing this so that you buy the bad stuff. They're giving you an extra little bit on your trade-in return for you're helping them sell the stuff that they find hard to shift.
Who the hell would trade in a watch to buy a bad watch? Phil, are you making sense here? Actually, this is the second time I've watched this and I didn't pick this up. Phil isn't making any sense of what he's saying.
Now, where I don't agree with this, in my opinion, is where they try to sell you...
Opinions are like assholes.
They try to sell you the stuff at a super high price. So the pre-owned section I'm talking about here, the pre-certified, whatever it's called,
Certified pre-owned. Listen, if you're going to talk about it, Phil, know your stuff. I know my stuff a little bit. Certified pre-owned. I agree with them. They're way overpriced on certified pre-owned because they bought that stuff 2 years ago and it's been sitting around for too long. One of these days, the ADs will take a hit on it and it'll all equalise. And that will be at their discretion. And I am waiting for that day to come because I would love a certified pre-owned Coke from an authorised dealer. 100% I would love that watch. The right watch at the right price. But currently, certified pre-owned prices are way too high.
There are certain models that are thousands, if not in £10,000 plus over what I would sell the same watch for.
I think he's on about Daytonas. You can get a black Daytona on the grey market, full set, I don't know, 2019 for 19 grand. Same watch, certified pre-owned, 27 grand. So I totally agree with him. You wear that watch, you wear that side, and the next minute it's worth the same as any 2019 black Daytona. The only thing you get from certified pre-owned is you get peace of mind. You know you're not buying a Turkey special. Personally, I think I'd rather spend more to know I was getting a real Rolex. Imagine you bought a Turkey special for 19 grand or a too good to be true Panda Daytona for 20 grand. If it's too good to be true, it is. Certified pre-owned is the future, guys, when the prices come down and normalise. It is.
So I urge you to really think about it. If you're getting £500 extra on your trade-in for the watch that you don't want anymore, but in return you're buying something that you were pressured into or you don't really want, really have a think about it, because you would walk out the store and you'd lose thousands of pounds. I can sell you that same watch literally for thousands of pounds. I've seen it in Selfridges. The prices are ridiculous. And I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to make a sales pitch here. Whether you buy a watch through me and Watch Life or not, it's fine. It's
Phil is always making a sales pitch. He is. He can't help it. He's a salesman.
more just, I want you to be mindful that, you know, they do, I know they do sometimes pressure you into buying something that maybe you don't want, and, you know, they might have promised you something greater down the line, but you just have to be careful with these things because sales staff leave.
Yeah, it's Ginger. Ginger and Grey. Ginger tea. I get it. I have a ginger beard.
And a lot of the time these are empty promises, so just be careful. And I guess following on from that as well, it's come to my attention again recently that 80s
It's come to Phil Reid's attention. It's going to be good.
seem to be more, this is a weird thing to say, they seem to be more honest and open and upfront about what you have to do in order to get the good stock that you actually want, the good watches. So back in the day, we all knew that you had to buy earrings or some sort of jewelry or another brand, another watch brand, in order to get the good stuff. It was this like weird secret, but we all knew it. They knew it, we knew it, you know.
Certain ADs did it. There's one AD that no longer call that name anymore. They now call something else. Same people though. The same people working at that AD. I guarantee they'll be pulling the same tricks on you guys. They'll never give you a decent watch unless you buy jewellery or other watches. But eventually, they will have to eat their words.
We played that game. But now, you know, I've had people tell me recently that they'll just say, if you buy these earrings, we'll get you a Panda Daytona, or we'll get you the GMT Pepsi.
Well, I'm just telling you, if my AD said, if you buy these earrings, we'll give you a Panda Daytona, I'd buy the bloody earrings. Ain't no AD gonna say that to a customer to their face. I did interrupt him there, so I think he said the same about a Pepsi. You give me a Pepsi, I'll buy the flipping earrings. No problem. Give me the earrings now and give me the watch now. I'll take them both. Any AD out there offering a Panda Daytona 2024 with a pair of diamond earrings, I'll take them. I think I can wear one of them here and then keep the other one as a spare, can't I? Could do a producer Mike, couldn't I? Could have one there, like producer Michael. I could be called producer Brendan. Give me the earrings, I'll take the watch.
Whatever it may be. So it's just interesting why they're doing this now. And I think the answer to why they're doing this now is because ADs are struggling. And when I say struggling, I don't mean the good, popular stuff. I mean the watches that people don't want. A full gold Skydweller, for example, that costs £43,000, which would trade or resell.
My AD is not struggling, just so you know. Most Rolex ADs are not struggling. Every other AD is going to be dead in 2025. Not a Rolex AD. Not in 2025, that's for sure.
£10,000 less than what you buy it for at RRP from retail. Back in the day, almost every single Rolex watch would sell at a premium, maybe 90%, right? Nowadays, at a guess, I don't know what you guys think, but I'd say maybe 10% of Rolexes actually resell over list price. So I think the honesty that I'm now seeing is purely because of the fact that they have to be honest with their objective of.
I just want to talk about this watch is selling for more than list price. I don't give a stuff. I'm waiting for 2 watches at the moment, and I don't care if they're above MSRP or below MSRP. I just want the watches, and I'm waiting, and I am not a minority. There are loads of collectors out there like me who are waiting on these watches and happy to purchase them. We just want to get rid of all the flippers, get rid of the Phil Reids of this world, and get the watches straight into the hands of the people that want them.
Trying to get people to cross-spend. And if we take it a step further, what has also come to light, and I've known that this happens, but it's one thing to kindly suggest somebody buy a bracelet or some earrings or another watch to help get the good stuff.
Didn't he just say that? Didn't he just say that whole thing before? He did.
It's then a whole other thing for the AD sales staff to ask for money in return, like cash. And I think in the UK,
Ooh, he is accusing Rolex ADs of taking backhanders. He is. Cash. Listen to this.
It started to have, pop up a little bit more. I'm hearing more word that this is happening. I think in other countries, I think we've known that this is the case for whatever reason. But look, times are tough and people...
Reid, investigator.
Doing whatever they can to get an additional bit of money, right? I'm not advocating this at all. But if we're talking about the game, this is the cheat code in the game. This isn't the right way to play the game because both parties are doing something that isn't allowed, technically, I guess. And it's always been strange to me that, a salesperson that is on a very modest salary and has to do a fairly basic job, I would say, has so much control and influence over where the good watches get allocated. And oftentimes, people are going to abuse the power that they have, right? And
abuse of power. I know all about abuse of power. And the individual that made Brenny all the false promises is still working for that company. So it doesn't make any difference, guys. Salespersons or managers can be dodgy, and their head office can turn a blind eye. They can
use this power to line their own pockets. They will influence the manager's decision on where certain watches get allocated, and in return, obviously, and it's not always cold hard cash. Sometimes it can be like a gift card, or it can be a dinner, or a gift, of some sort. And look, I hate to say it, but the AD game is pretty simple and clear. We know what you need to do to get the watches that you want. Yes, there are some people that can bypass it if you are maybe super rich and famous, whatever, or you have a great relationship. But the game is the game. As is life, you have to play certain games. There are certain rules in life, and there are certain systems where you can either choose to play it or you choose.
What a load of old rubbish. He's just waffling now. He's probably trying to get his video to last 8.5 minutes or something.
Not to play it, and that's completely up to you. For example, a corporate work, right?
I don't know what he's wearing, by the way. That is the most horrible top I've ever seen a man wear before.
Right, corporate job. I played the corporate job game for a number of years. Fine. I then decided I didn't want to play it anymore, and I'm now doing this. It's what it is. If you don't want to play the AD game because you disagree with it, fine, but just know that some people will, and some people will benefit from it. And as a result of that, some people will negatively get impacted by this as well. And that's where, certain people that complain about not getting watches, that's where they're impacted. Is that fair? Nope. Is life fair? Not really all the time. Should it be? Yeah, I guess. But like I say, always, if you are good to the AD, if you are nice, if you are polite,
being nice makes no
genuine,
difference.
they will always help you.
Makes no
if
difference.
you don't want to go down that route and you just want to get straight to the watch that you want, that's where I come in. Watch Life has a number of watches in stock, and we would be more than happy to help you find your dream watch. If you're looking to sell also.
Clickbait, Phil, you're full of...
So get in touch if you're interested. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think as well.
You're full of